Charles
Right.
Brown.
Markwell Yusuf, Channels TV.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Chijoke Okafo is also a very new face to you, sir. He's of ADBN. Chijoke, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Good to see you again, Honorable Minister.
The last member of the panel here, a new face as well. Chijoke, Asuko James. Asuko is of TVC News. All right, Honorable Minister, let's, like I said, you look very refreshed. After a month of commissioning, there may be a few days of rest, you look refreshed. But then I know that something must be cooking. So what do we expect after the commissioning? What should Abuja people expect?
Well, having commissioned does not mean that our work has ended. What we commissioned is to celebrate the second anniversary of Mr. President in office. Of course, there are still more works to be done. More works are going on. And we do expect that after some time, we will also invite you to flag off other projects that are having positive impact or will have positive impact on the lives of the residents and business people in Abuja. So many that I cannot really reel out. But I do know that we have ongoing the road from Pai to Gomani. We have the Dede Road. We have the Kasara Road where you have the New Hope Agenda Housing Estate. We have the Court of Appeal Division of Court of Appeal, Abuja Division going on. We have the Justices Quarters of the Federal High Court, the FCT High Court, and the Court of Appeal Division Abuja. We have the Board of Benchers Annex. We have 10 flats which we believe before the end of this year we have completed for the Nigerian Law School Abuja. And so now projects like the continuation of the N5, we have the N20 road going on, and so many other, we have Kete, Takoshira road going on. So many things to be done, and other things like the rural water, which will be taking place, which will be concentrated in Kubwa, Kauru, and part of Buari. We also have this project of Lit Up Abuja. Of course, you know that Abuja will be 50 years by February next year, which is like a jubilee year. We remember when Mr. President traveled to China, we did sign a memorandum of understanding with CGC and ECC, where they will provide, because we've had problems about contractors or districts and the one in charge of the street lights, today vandalization, tomorrow that. So we try to see how we can once and for all tackle these issues. And we came up with these very formidable companies, assuring us that they will have to provide security device and to maintain it for 4 or 5 years without us going back to pay, or this has been vandalized, this bomb has been stolen, and all kinds of things. So we think that will help us a lot to take over the entire streets in the city, and then we can now allow other people to go into the rural areas to provide some solar power for them. So many things to be done, and we are doing a lot of rehabilitation of schools. So many. So the work is endless. It's endless. But we believe by the grace of God that will all continue. But for information, I've not rested. I've not taken any break since after the commission is 2 weeks. 16 good days. Of course, I don't know how many people would have survived that, but I will still find out time to take my time to go and rest. It's very, very important. Yes, that's where we are.
Okay, Honorable Minister, that's quite a mouthful.
I know you have been inundated with acclamations, if you like, in the last how many years that you've been in office. People have spoken about your the infrastructural revolution that you've been able to bring in the FCT. However, your critics are not relenting. What they are saying is that you're concentrating on the brick and mortar. They talked about inclusive urban planning, stakeholders, engagement and consultation, and that, that's what you're prefacing in this government. Are you not bothered?
Bothered of what? I mean, from the question you asked, that provider of infrastructure is showcasing, is just playing to the gallery. Urban planning. How do you provide infrastructure without urban planning? It's unfortunate that we are not engaging with stakeholders. How would he know when we engage stakeholders? You are aware that when we came on board, it has never happened that we have to visit all the 6 area councils, where we start with the youth, start with traditional rulers, start with the women. And that was the first time that the stakeholder will say, look, this is our major priority. You also remember how the Youth Secretariat was created by Mr. President. How the Women's Secretariat was created. It was never in existence in Abuja. It was as a result of interaction with the stakeholders, which are carried to Mr. President. Mr. William approved the creation of this secretariat. So when people talk about non-engagement of stakeholders, who are the stakeholders? I hope you don't say a stakeholder is somebody who's been shouting on national television that I'm not inviting him or her. That is not correct. That is not correct. So the engagement of stakeholders, I'm happy when anybody likes, when they say infrastructure, who are those you are using the roads now? What drives the economy of any country? What makes investors to come to say, look, we are willing to invest? Will an investor come and provide infrastructure? Will an investor come and provide road? When these things are not in place, it will not encourage anybody to come. Because these are the primary things first that an investor will see and say, yes, I want to establish an institution here. Is there any access to that? I want to establish a private hospital here. Are there roads? I want to set up a manufacturing, I want to do mechanized agric. I agree. And the access roads in case that will bring in this produce to the city. So people just, for purposes of criticizing when they don't have anything to say. I will use one local thing we normally say in my place. And pardon me to say that, my people say, if you don't have anything to say against somebody, you use one like we say as him be. Because you have nothing to say. I mean, you must appreciate when a government has done well. You don't need to like the person in charge. By the grace of God, you have talked about infrastructure revolution in Abuja. That means the government of Mr. President is working. At least, let's take from here. There are problems within 2 years. Where has it happened? This is a government that inherited so much problems. And we are doing all our best, taking time to fix them. And suddenly within 2 years, something you have not done for 10 years, 20 years, since 1999, within 2 years, everything must have been fixed. That must be a miracle. I put my hand on here and say, be healed. And you are healed. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yes.
Honorable Minister, it's interesting that you mentioned rehabilitation of schools.
Yeah.
You talked about more projects that are coming. Because like my colleague mentioned earlier, the criticism has been that you've been focusing on leaning on physical infrastructure, which you're doing laudable well. People have been, praising you for that, including connecting rural roads that have long been forgotten. However, when you mention school, I'm curious, perhaps to tell us more about some of the social development plans that you have beyond schools. Are there any? For instance, health, urban poverty, homelessness. What is the FCT doing in that regard?
Now, I also want to appreciate, you just said here that people that I'm doing well in terms of rules, correcting rules, but have you also accepted, are you convinced that in terms of education, that we are doing something?
We don't know. That's what
You see,
people
that
say
is,
they don't know.
that is why, that is why,
We have
the point I'm making is that I want to give a challenge to this, and I will plead that the Mandate Secretary of Education will fund the logistics, and give you 1 month. Go to the rural areas and the city and see the schools that have been rehabilitated and furnished. The problem is because we didn't go to commission. If we have gone to commission, you would allow this question. Because for me, I thought, well, look, what am I going to, commission, innovated schools, furnished schools? For me, it's not important. Also, in terms of the social development, talking about in terms of the youth, we are seeing what we are doing in Yaya, the Youth Development Center. As we speak to you now, we are building 3 sports centers for our youth. One in, I think one in Guaguanada, and then 2 in the city here. So we're taking it, seriously, so that we know that once we are focused with this, we are done with this, we move to the next. It's not just to scratch, and let it be that at the end of the day, you scratch, nothing meaningful will come out of it. So these are things that we are doing. Maybe it is not possible. It's not possible for us to say, look, we want to go and flag off for these projects, we want to go and commission this project. It's not possible. We take what we think that, well, these are very, 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 very projects to spend billions of naira that people should see what you've done, But if the project where you are spending 1% billion and this and that, by the time we say we want to go and commission those projects, you will also ask, must we commission everything? So I would think that you will help us by we provide logistics. You go with the Mandate Secretary of Education, Mandate Secretary of Social Development, and then go and see things on ground. We are not saying, and I continue to say that, I will not say here that every problem has been solved. All problems cannot be solved. Even if this government stays 20 years, no government can solve all problems. But government is solving problems that at least will help to improve the lives of the people. And that's what it's supposed to be.
Honorable Minister, that question on schools she took right out of my mouth, because there is a follow-up, and perhaps after this program I can show you some pictures with regards to the state of some schools in the area councils.
Can I ask you, let me just answer that. Yes. This is the problem we have always said. How many schools do we have in FCT? How many schools do we have?
Okay, well,
now, assuming we have about, say, 10,000 schools, assuming. You go and take 3 schools that are bad. The mischief makers. For example, these schools you are talking about that are bad, when did they become bad?
You haven't let me ask my question.
No, but I mean,
let me quickly ask the question, and perhaps you can put it in context.
Okay.
It's about the area councils.
Yes.
Who are supposed to be responsible for primary education. Do they also have the mandate to build these primary schools? Are they directly under them? If they are, do they have the funds to do so, or are you intervening as Minister of
I will not answer why they have the funds. First of all, I thank God that primary school is the responsibility of local government councils or area councils.
Which aspect of it? That's the part of the question.
No, but
is it the software, which is salaries of the teachers?
But
or building of the
no, the same. No, you cannot remove this and take this. It's not so. However, most of the schools that are being rehabilitated are being carried out by us, by the FCT. Because we believe that, yes, it is their responsibility. But again, if anything happens, nobody will talk about that. Just like when the teachers were on strike. Nolge was on strike. It is not FCT strike. But we thought that, look, teachers on strike, what do we do? It is not that secondary school teachers are not on strike. People should have that in mind. The tertiary education under FCT, they're not on strike. People should know that. Now, when people say, they go and tell them to go to the gate of FCT, carry children, stay there, we're at home, to try to embarrass the government. I didn't talk. Because let me finish. Because I know it's just blackmail. We have come to intervene severally. And what's the intervention? The funds they are having, they have said is not enough. Remember, the increment in the minimum wage affected them. Now, if a local government or an area council, take for example, is getting, maybe in a month, 300-something million naira for the allocation. And then he gets IGR, their own share of the 10% monthly they get. Assuming they get like 2.something billion, that 2.something billion is shared among the 6 area council, but not on equal basis, based on your own contribution. So, assuming whoever gets additional 150 million naira, or 200 million, as the case may be, that adds to the 300, 500 million. What's the salary structure? What's the salary of the staff of Governement for teachers and local government staff? It's more than 500 million. Now, if you expend that, what other money do you have to carry out other services? That's why there's a problem in our federal system, where you go to the headquarters, to the capital, and negotiate for minimum wage for states and local government councils. What is the capacity of this area council or local government to be able to pay? And look at people and say, employ. It is sometimes madness when you say in FCT alone, we have over 55,000 workers. How do you justify it? 55,000 workers doing what? However, you can't take a step. That was all industrial crisis. But nobody talks about the funding. Where would this money come from? FCT area councils are not like other local governments where you have one for the oil producing states and what you only do alone is taxes. Remember, what comes to the FCT is 1% of the allocation of federal government. So if the federal government, for example, gets in a month 800 billion from the share of the inflation account, what they will pay to FCT is how much? 1% of 800 billion is how much? 8 billion.
So understanding, just a moment, just understanding the challenge that the area councils are facing, particularly in that area of education, because I can see that you're making some intervention efforts.
Yeah.
Would you say that you would declare a state of emergency in the infrastructure around education, given just how decrepit and how long abandoned it's been?
Declare a state of emergency to achieve what?
At least, will I say, decent infrastructure in the area
No,
of
you need to declare. That's why I quarrel. Somebody who says is a senator representing FCT. All when tested is you want to be invited. What job have you done? Ordinarily, as a senator representing the FCT and members of the House of Reps who are not FCT should make a special claim from the federal government. This is the capital of the country. Let me finish. There must be a special intervention for the federal capital. But that's not like that.
You're in a good place to make that request.
No. That's why, as a senator, as members of House of Reps, in the National Assembly, you start from there. Let people understand that, yes, you are really speaking on their behalf.
Have you approached the senator to work with her?
Yeah, I don't need to approach you. You went and said you want to go to Senate. You want to say you want to go to House of Representatives. Therefore, you should know the role you should play. It is not only coming out of national television. He's not inviting me for commission of project. He's not inviting me for us to have a drink. That is not the job we're talking about.
Honorable Minister, let's talk about your image when it comes to the education sector in the FCT. You had mentioned that mischief makers are portraying the fact that you're not putting so much attention on the education sector in the FCT, and you're building bridges for showmanship. And you said that you don't publicize some of these works that you have been doing in the education sector due to the size of the projects as compared to the roads and bridges that you have been doing. Don't you think, Honorable Minister, that perhaps putting more attention or some certain level of attention on the education sector and the works that you're doing there would help your administration shut these mischief makers up?
That maybe you have misunderstood me. I didn't say the level of work we're doing is not a normal. I'm saying probably because we have not gone to commissioning. It's not only commissioning that you can publicize to.
Do you have plans of commissioning anything, perhaps collectively anytime soon?
I think I did say here that I will provide for the logistics. You are media people, and the Monday secretary will take you around for 1 month. And then you now see what you have done in education, and then you can speak to the people. I hope I said that here.
All right. Yeah.
I hope I said that. So I don't know what you want. If I have in mind to do any commission or what, I'm giving you the assignment.
Maybe we should leave education and go to something else.
But again, I will also say, I don't see how a rational person, somebody who has no mental problem, will say that building bridges is a showman. I don't understand that. I don't understand, how do you go to school when there's no road? Some of you have complained that taking your children to school is a problem. Something that will take you 30 minutes will take you 2 hours. And a government has come to say, no, this can't continue. It has to be not even that 30 minutes, it has to be reduced to 20 minutes. Now you say it's a showman trying to show. Assuming we provide the entire schools to be good without roads, what do you do?
All right. We have so many issues to cover, so let's leave that and move to something else. Asuko.
Let's talk about that. I know that you've been making progress in terms of infrastructure, roads, but what of healthcare in the FCT? Because I know that if you also concentrate on the hospitals and all, the residents will also be happy. Don't you think so?
In terms of what? Why do you think we're not doing? What do you think we're not doing in the health?
Because
That you think we should do?
No, like I know there are some councils that don't have general hospitals.
Must every council have a general hospital?
Or specialist hospital, for instance, rather than them coming
You see,
down.
is it the problem in Nigeria?
Maybe you should just provide
No,
an insight into what you are doing
I'm coming.
in the health sector.
Take for example, and that is the politics we play in this country that's so bad. In as much as I want to provide access to education, we don't want to talk about quality of education. Everybody wants a university to be his community. Nobody has asked, these 2 universities you have provided, what's the quality? All we're interested, let there be universities everywhere, but no quality. I would prefer that I have 3 universities, for example, and then you can talk about the quality of that university or schools. Now, we do the same thing. You've not talked about in terms of general hospital. I don't know why anybody should think that within 2 years in office, you have provided general hospitals in all the area councils. That is not possible. Except you're talking about the warehouses, what you would regard as hospitals, without the proper equipment that's supposed to be there. Today, we are trying to reconstruct the Otako that was abandoned general hospital. We're renovating the Wakwalada General Hospital. And then again, the one in Aguaripa. Go and see the doctor's quarters. They're a mess. Go and see the work that we're doing there. Like I said, this is just 2 years in office. It is not possible for you to turn around all the sectors. It is not possible. But that does not mean any sector should be neglected. And we are not neglecting. It's just not talk about the transport system. It is a chaotic. We are trying to see what we can do to put it in order, which we have started. But, you know, I appreciate the problem that we have. Like I said before, things were so bad. And so a government has come. Let everything be solved now. And I appreciate the fact that because you are saying we are doing well, and therefore, you believe that we should have done well in everything. No, no. We should take that government does not run that way. A government must be focused on targeting that. From this period to this period, this is what we are going to do in this area. From this period to the other period, this is what we are going to do in this. That's how government is supposed to be run. Not just a government comes.
I just hope the Honorable Minister understands what we are trying to do here, which is to reflect what the people say. The more you give to the people, the more they ask for.
I agree with you. I agree, but that's why I'm also answering now. That's why I'm also saying let the people also hear
what we are doing.
What we are doing, and this is the way government is supposed to be run, not the way.
Do you think, sir, that it could be as a result of, because it would appear, and in fairness to you, you are not shy of interviews.
Yep.
This conversation you have every month is regular and it's steady.
Yes.
However, people will say that your mandate secretaries should be out there taking questions, taking concerns, and explaining to the people as well what exactly is going on under their mandate.
So they are not satisfied of what I'm briefing them until when the mandate secretaries brief them.
No, sometimes people will just want to hear from them on different
No. You have your own time to go to them and ask them questions. You will not advise us how, in terms of public appearance, in terms of interviews. Take, for example, you read newspaper, you hear what the Mandate Secretary of Health says.
So does your office, supervise this Mandate Secretary?
Oh, what I mean, this is very unfair. If you ask me whether my office supervises the Mandate Secretary, that would be very much unfair. How will I sit and approve fund? You know me very well. I sit and approve fund for you to utilize, and then you're asking me if I supervise. Do I look like somebody who will sit in the office? I mean, that would be unfair. That would be very unfair question to say if I supervise my commissioners.
Let me just check.
No, that would be quite unfair.
Before I move on from education very quickly, what is so wrong if you stamp your face with perhaps one commissioning of a school project? We have seen you with so many roads, so many physical projects. What is so wrong if you do commission one school project? So,
the anger of the people is that I have not gone to commission. Okay, let me promise them now. Can I promise them?
From your submission.
Can I promise them?
Okay.
And promise you too. If that's what you want.
It's not me.
No.
Well,
What I mean you. What I mean you. You are speaking on behalf of them because of their worries. Because of their worries. I have not said okay. To satisfy them, to satisfy you who asked the question, we'll take on 10 schools. As I leave here, I'll tell the Mandate Secretary and tell the protocol to set up a program Well, and you, of course, we wouldn't do the ones in town. We'll have to go to the rural areas.
All
and
right.
I hope you oblige us to also be there.
All right. Okay. Sorry.
And two, we won't do it live.
Oh.
I hope you like that. Because you know where I'm going to. Because you know who benefits from the live coverage.
I have an idea.
Let's go to something different.
Right.
About 2 weeks ago or so, you signed an MOU for the Abuja City Walk.
Yep.
We understand that the Abuja City Walk is patterned after the Dubai City Walk. For those of us who don't know what the Dubai City Walk is all about, I say us, Abuja residents, would you like to give an insight into what this Abuja City Walk brings to the table?
Yes, let me tell you. Let me tell you, it's most unfortunate what we find. That's why I say leadership is key in anything you are doing. We are privileged. We are privileged to have traveled, and most of you too would have traveled. And then when you go to some of these cities, you see that. You say, wow, what is this? What is difficult that we cannot replicate our cities to be like this? To give it, that yes, this is what investment is all about, and this is what grows economy. And then we come back home, I live into social city, or very fine city. I move into the other city, very fine city. What makes it fine? It's a city that you can find everything that will improve the lives of the people, that make things easier for the people, and then will improve the economy, will create jobs. So what is wrong that it's not applicable in your own place? And you have the opportunity to also tell your people what we find in that area can be done here with the right leadership. I don't know whether you've been to the Dubai city.
I have not. I have not been to Dubai.
No, okay. I know you, so most of you
That's
are.
what
Go to, I have never been to that Dubai city until when I got this proposal. I've been a governor. I see people coming with all kinds of proposals, with a portfolio, and put a PowerPoint and present. I'm not a fan of that. I want something that, yes, you are serious, yes, it can work, not just to come and fake our land and this and that has been the case all the time. So I was invited and I went to Dubai, and I went to Dubai City. It is a place where you find everything you talk about in life. It's not only where you talk about the rich men. No. Schools are there, all kinds of business, but see how compact. And so I bought the idea. So when they came, and I said, part of our problem is bureaucracy. And I said, look, I've had this experience of people coming and look, they have $18 billion. They have $10 million. At the end of the day, you don't see anything. Rather, they take your property or your land, as the case may be, to go to bank and collect more funds. When I was in Staff University, it has happened. I don't want to mention them, so that the person will not say, oh, I went to national television to embarrass him. A businessman. We had to bring down a popular cultural center for the purpose of this. At the end of the day, nothing happened. So when I became governor, I wanted to take back our property. It became politics. In fact, the person went out to start saying that because it's an job, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I mean, madness. I just stay away. Now, so that you don't cut this, because it's very, very important. So when they came, I said, listen, what do you want? They said they want social and social place, and they're going to divide it in phases. So, what time limit? They said, well, they want to go back and then come back and see whether we're ready. So I said, no, we're ready now. We'll take you to where we think. And all those who will be involved must accompany us. The director of land, the director of surveying, the director of development control, the director urban and regional planning. I said, yes. We moved down to the place, and they were very happy. I said, okay, what do we do? Can we have the design you want? Director of development control, I don't want to hear bureaucracy. Oh, some staff are trying to, sabotage you, you didn't pay this. I don't want that. And I told them, bring the drawings. I will take it and submit it to the development control. Development control, tell them the charges. Within 24 hours, it must be done. And it was done, and they paid the fees. Now, that's okay. Director Land prepared a documentation for them. However, if in this first phase, you are not able to complete the first phase or achieve it, the land reverts back to us automatically. Not where you see people applying for mass housing. 10 years, nobody's doing mass housing. 10 years, they are dividing and selling the land. Look at the problem we had with the Praco. You know where a sunrise is? Sunrise. But a good chunk of land. Praco claimed that the FCT gave them 500 hectares for housing. For how long? Instead of them to develop the houses, Praco started dividing the land, selling. When I came up, I said, no, this is not right. If it's to sell land, government could as well sell the land and make money and develop the city. What happened? All over the television, social media, I'm fighting the Igbos. I'm doing this, I'm doing this. That is the country where you are in. Now, on this investment, which the people have signed, that so-called Abuja Technology Village, ask who owns Abuja Technology Village? If you see the corruption, Abuja Technology Village is the baby of FCT. FCT provided the infrastructure for more than 20 years. Go and see litigation, grabbing of land. 20 years, nothing has been done. 20 good years. You go there, they have rented there, you see where tankers, NNPC tankers are parked, they collect money. You see somebody one side, they collect. Oh my God. So you see, so many people are not claiming of having CFOs. I said, I can't understand this. I said, okay, I'm going to solve this problem. That's what they call Abuja Technology Village. So when these people now came, politics started. What is the politics? The boy who is there, who said is the acting MD, I said, who made the acting MD? There's nothing like that. We have given 200 hectares, we have signed a memorandum of understanding that they have to do the first phase of this, the Abuja City work. And if it is not done, we are saying that Mr. President is going to do his 30th year anniversary next year. And they have promised us that they are going to complete this first phase. And if, calm down, don't rush. If this first phase is not carried out, the land refers to us. There's no grammar.
about it. Politics again started. Because it's for social place. Because they now started writing, oh, that investors have come with 660-something million US dollars. This came now because of these investors have come. Meanwhile, you have rented all these lands. I said, no, we will not accept that. Remember, when Mr. President directed that we should renovate, overhaul the International Conference Center, which is Bola International Conference Center now. Somebody went to court that he was given that to run. He pays to FCT 50 million naira a year. And you and I can attest to the whole place was run down. When we shut down the place, politics came. Oh, one senator called me. Oh, how can you do this? How can you do that? I said, what did I do? Oh, this man is my man. I said, yes, there's nothing wrong. But as a senator, as a citizen of this country, who loves this country, are you happy that that is the International Conference Center, that you host international bodies? You went to what? I ignored it. It's our property. It's not your property. And look at the money we spent. Look at what it is today. You are paying us 50 million a year, but we have made over 1.something billion in a month. For this, you are paying us 50 million naira a year. So, what I'm trying to say, you see, if we don't, you see, leadership will require, people may not like it. People may not like it, but it has to be done. So now, what we are doing now, in that place, I hear somebody say he is going to court. I said, look, it's good. That will not stop us from going on to bring such a project that will change the face of the city, create employment.
I was just about to ask you the benefits, what we're hoping to benefit from.
Take for example now, assuming I'm building the structure, would there not be people working here? Take for example, I'm just using that as an example. You are creating a hub where so many facilities will be. You spend over $1 billion. What, investing $1 billion in an economy, what benefit do you think you will derive? So many things. Look at the constructions of what will be, how the economy will change. And somebody is telling me that because of your selfish interest of renting for over 20 years, makeshift, the government will not move on, the city will not move on. And we have been crying. Not just happening in Abuja. And people, the president has traveled so much of weighing investors that the environment is conducive. We can guarantee you this, guarantee you that. And you are sitting down to sabotage that effort because of your selfish interest. We will not allow that.
Minister, the amenities that you had mentioned that will be in the Abuja City Walk and the other side attractions kind of seems similar to things you would find in places like the Centenary City or even the renewed Hope City that is springing up in, within the FCT.
Where is the Centenary City?
Well, I'm driving somewhere, Honorable Minister. You had mentioned that the first phase of the project will be commissioned by next year, ahead of Mr. President's 3rd year anniversary in office. How is this possible? That within this short time...
Why not? You see that? Hold on. Sometimes let's ask questions. This is what you have told me. And I said, if you don't do this, the land goes back. So it's not my business. Okay. My business is our understanding that unlike where you give out land, like I've told you here, somebody took 500 hectares of land for housing. Where is the housing? You give me a CFO. Nothing to say, if this is not done, the land goes back to a government. And this is how people have used government to make money without carrying out the whole essence of the agreement. But if you see what today, we have changed that pattern. I've changed that pattern now, that if we come now to say what we call swap, we'll provide infrastructure in these areas, then we use the land for, we agree. Let there be proper documentation. From what time to what time? Before there's nothing like that. And nobody will want, and if you have now come to say, look, this pattern must change, people begin to query it. It was not done there before. The mere fact that it was not there before does not mean it will not be here today. Okay. We must have to do things that will make people think that, yes, we are carrying out the right thing. And people will have confidence in you.
Okay.
Honorable Minister, I still want to follow up on the issue of you said 45,000 hectares allocated to a health institution. Some thousands of hectares allocated to a health institution that you had to...
It's not health. You get to say University of Abuja.
No, the earlier one, when you were talking about some hectares of land allocated that you had
Technology Village. Abuja Technology Village.
Exactly. So I want to ask for an update on the 11,000 hectares of land allocated to Abuja that University of Abuja that went bust recently. That's one. Two, don't you think that the level of cynicism and criticisms of your achievements, many of them laudable in Abuja, is as a result of the fact that, yes, I reckon there must be an Abuja master plan, of the fact that it is not visible. For instance, you have in Singapore, people can keep track of development. In Singapore now, people know what next government is going to do. Don't you think that you should make it visible to the public, in which case they can keep track of it? They know, for instance, what's the next thing that Nyesom Wike is going to do?
You know what I like us? We are not being realistic. You are seeing what I'm talking about here now. We are being theoretical. Why are we having problems? That even when government has said, this is the master plan, somebody comes to destroy the master plan, and you come up to us and say, this cannot be. Instead of you to agree that what I'm doing is the right thing, you come with ethnicity and religion. And that is the truth of the matter. That is the truth of the matter. That's the pain of our problem here. I thank God you are here asking this question. But tell yourself the simple truth. Assuming that the man who destroyed that master plan is from your area. No, let us tell ourselves the simple truth. And I've come on board to say, no, this is wrong. We have to go back to what it's supposed to be. Being a journalist, he will come and meet you, see what a Wike is doing, because he hates the Igbos, he hates the Yorubas, he hates the Hausas, for example. As somebody whom I think should say, listen, tell me the truth. Did you know the story master plan?
Yeah, but isn't this because there is no transparency?
Nobody knows that is the point.
What the master plan is about.
No. What is transparency? The master plan is a document. The master plan is a document. Of course, it's not, take for example, if we say, here's a green area, I must be green. Somebody in government comes in, or a director in the ministry, or in the FCT, one way or the other, plays this game. And then, unknown to you, let me tell you, these 500 hectares of land I was saying, that was given to Praco, was signed by a director of land when the minister had just left. And what did they do? They connived, they went to court without, and serving FCT without the legal department knowing. And even if you know, they take somebody in the legal department to go and concede to the case. You are handicapped.
Honorable Minister, can you just clear up this issue between the Abuja Technology Village and the Abuja City Walk?
No, there's nothing like, no, there's nothing to
or
clear.
the Abuja Technology Village
there's
is no longer...
There's nothing to clear about the Abuja Technology Village. There's nothing to clear. I'm the Minister of the FCT. Right? Abuja Technology Village is a creation of the FCT.
Okay. So nobody is going to court to stop the Abuja City Walk?
What are you going to court for? Is it here? I mean, the Abuja Technology is who is Abuja Technology Village?
It's a baby of the FCT.
I don't understand.
A group of investors have taken you to court They say they've invested so much. They have it
the Abuja Technology
gazetted.
Village.
They do have the CEO of the land. And Honorable Minister, you talk about investors.
Can I tell my sister, I have told you here
Yes.
about what has happened in that Abuja thing. I have told you here that for the past 20 years, that government has provided infrastructure for people to come and invest. Did you understand me? And I told you that nothing has happened. What they were doing was to cut some part, give some people, rent out this and that. Is that the investment that you are talking about? Is that why government will provide such level of infrastructure? And let me tell you, nobody will say gazetted by who? By who? Can you help us? Can you help us and give us the gazette?
So all of that have been revoked, and the land reverted back to them.
We have given land to the investors, and investors are going to invest and build on that land.
Investors.
Yes.
That's the Abuja city.
Yes, those who want to invest.
That's the clarification.
That's what we're saying. So it does not matter anybody. I told you here, there are so many CFOs there. I told you this.
But is it the fault of the investors?
Whom do you call an investor? Excuse me. Whom do you call investor? Who do you call investor?
People who bring their money into the country.
Where is the money for 20 years? Where is the money?
What about the Abuja University of Abuja?
So okay, hold on. So let us not take that now.
Yes.
So when you say investors, when you say anybody comes here, I'm an investor. You're an investor for 20 years. Not one block has been put on ground. And you use government land to begin to rent and collect money. So that makes you an investor. That is not correct. Now you talk about Abuja University. People should say the truth. Look, I came what I met. The former minister had invoked that land. The former minister. Now, you see, the problem we have, when you revoke and you don't implement, do you understand me? Now it looks like nothing has happened. That's why I said, the problem we have is that the inability of previous administrations to implement decisions they have taken. Now, and let us tell ourselves the simple truth. Tell me anywhere in the world where you say a university has 11,000 hectares of land. Tell me, let us be reasonable. You can abuse anybody as you choose to abuse. That's not the point. Today, EFCC Academy is in that University of Abuja. Who gave them? Was that the one? If it is your property, EFCC Academy, police have their own property there. And who said this? That is a district, Giri district. No road, nothing. What the university did was to just, if you are going to the airport, from beginning down to Gwagwalada village, what they do, first, they come and wake up. Can I, you people should take it easy. It's their colleague that asked the question. So I'll let the public also benefit and appreciate what is going on. What you do, sometimes you have something, they cut out. They give you. They collect money. What kind of system is this? And we have come to solution. There are institutions. Here we are getting decongested. You know that. Abuja are getting congested. Do you know that? And we have to move. Now, we are saying, look, 11,000 hectares. You can't. We can give you 4,000 hectares. And you know what's called 4,000 hectares? I'm not talking about 4,000 acres. Some of you who don't know about land. Not 4,000 plots. I'm talking about 4,000 hectares. 1,000 square meter, 10,000 square meter gives you 1 hectare. So what I talking about, 4,000 hectares. 4,000. Now, what the university is saying, oh, there are rocks. Yeah. Beautiful.
That 2,000 hectares that is made up of rocks and mountains.
Okay, fine. That's why you're university. If you have rocks, you can turn it to wealth. Assuming, though not conceding. Do you know what it's called about? 2,000 hectares is rock. How can people just come and, I mean, mention where in Abuja that 2,000 hectares of land is rock. People should see, this is one thing we must not do. We must stop this. I will not be minister forever, but I will do the right thing for Christ's sake. If I'm the head of the institution, and you tell me some area will have rock, it becomes economical for me. I will turn it to something that will yield money for the university. It's just that nobody wants to use his head to do something. You all want, do you know what's called a rock? Take for example.
Honorable Minister, we have to go to break.
Well, it is because of you. It is because of you. Because,
We have to go to break.
when we say all these things, imagine where somebody tells you 2,000 hectares is rock. Can that be possible?
It's a question for our audience to ponder.
Can that be possible? People just come and bring blackmail, propaganda, that government should not proceed 4,000 hectares of land. How many have they developed it today? How many? And we are saying that, look, there are institutions. Now, EFC's academy is there. The DSS, they're moving in there. Police. And we're saying we have to do roads. All this propaganda, we can stand to do this. I will do what is right. When I leave, whoever that comes, he said, don't want to do, it's their business. But posterity will be, just know that as at the time I came, I tried to correct certain things. That's my position.
At this point, we take a break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation and we'll be talking politics, perhaps also finishing some other questions around the FCT. Please stay with us.
And even
When you say a lot of money, the problem you have, when you say a lot of money, if you pay money It's not in your plate to say, let us put so that this thing will not happen.
Okay, Honorable Minister, let's talk about those predictions that you made. You insisted that Senator Sam Anyanwu will be the national secretary of your party. Today he is.
I did not insist. I said the law should be obeyed.
Well, he is.
So if he is the one, I insist.
Honorable Minister, you also said you were going to remain in the PDP and fight it to the end. Today, you are still a member of the PDP.
Yes.
Those you describe as buccaneers and vampires, you say have left your party.
Yes.
And there have been defections.
Yes.
But do you think that your party is out of the woods? Is the crisis over? Especially when the President Bola Tinubu, continues to infer to your party as the sinking ship.
He's entitled to. Just like I'm entitled to say it about a party. Now, but let us get it clear. I never insisted that Sam Anyanwu must be. I insisted that the right thing must be done. If the right thing to be done is that Sam Anyanwu should be, if that is your, title that, oh, I insisted. If the law takes place, so be it. And the law has taken place. And I don't know the second prophecy said I did.
That you remain in the PDP, you will not defect. Then the
No, I said I'm going to remain in PDP, and which I'm still in PDP. And that's why I'm saying that the right thing must be done. I will not leave this party, which I have done everything for the buccaneers and vampires. If I have left the party, the buccaneers and vampires would have remained in PDP to come and collect ticket.
Is the crisis over?
Well, it is over for now. Because there are still some things remaining, which I've told them they must do. One is, our South-South Zonal Congress that was held must be upheld. There's no two ways about it. Now, when we were doing our South-South Zonal Congress, the acting national chairman claimed that the PDP governors were not in support of that zonal congress. Where are the PDP governors now? Where are they?
So, Honorable,
our Congress was held in Calabar, and there's nothing anybody can tell us. If they want another round of crisis, so be it. That Congress must be. The Chief Danobi emerged as the National Vice Chairman of the Congress. The court allowed it for the Congress to hold. Congress was held. The so-called acting national chairman of the party went and wrote a letter to INEC. Congress was held on Saturday. Say, for example, on the 5th. And you wrote a letter on the 8th, for example, that Congress has been postponed. Something was held on the 5th. And the 8th, it was postponed. So there are no two ways about it. The National Vice Chairman of PDP South-South is Chief Dan Obi. If they don't agree, that's another round of crisis. Two, the South-East Congress, which they produce Ali Odefa, cannot stand. Ali Odefa, the court affirmed, he's no longer a member of the party. You cannot. You cannot. You see, these are the things I tell people that what I don't like is impunity. Is impunity. And for somebody like me, we will not condone it. I will not allow it. We won't fight it except they correct it. They said they're going for their convention.
Their convention? Are you not part of it?
Yeah, the convention.
When you have not corrected it.
The convention is in November.
It's in November.
Well, let us wait. Let the matter, first of all, there's still time for them to resolve it. Before we talk about the convention. Resolve the matter. Resolve the matter. If the matter is not resolved, there'll be crisis.
Okay, sir. Honorable Commissioner, Honorable Minister, how do you see the opposition coalition?
What
like
is that?
The coalition.
What is that?
The coalition.
Coalition of
Yes, the coalition.
Coalition of who and who? No,
should I mention the name of the party, the ADC?
Listen. If you say ADC,
ADC.
how is it a coalition? What makes them coalition? What is a coalition?
So what's your question on
so,
a lot of people.
So how do you see, will they be able to survive even next year?
In all their political nature, I will know for the campaign going from one party to the other. So every political period you do coalition. Every political period you do a coalition. Every political period you do coalition. Which, you see, if you say some Is that not correct? Is that not correct?
That's correct.
You hold family meetings. They say they look up to you. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
So, if you take a decision, it means to be beneficial for your people. You think, most of you think that politicians don't come from anywhere. I don't have a home. I'm coming. I don't have a village. I'm not from a community. I came from air. Do you know, as I go home, people come to ask me, what is our position? What do we do as regards to this? And I prefer this is my own thinking.
Okay, Minister, that's you, but can you really speak for all politicians who get into office and alienate themselves from the people? But my question really is still on local government elections. There are those who say, should the election go ahead as announced by RISEC, it will be a recipe for litigation for so many reasons.
Wow.
One, they say it is holding under a state of emergency, which is an anomaly. Yes. They also say the notice of election does not meet the statutory 90 days. It is 21 days. Are you not concerned? Plus, they also say, following my colleague, there's a pattern that has also emerged that your loyalists are emerging as the candidates of the chairmanship. It does look like your structure is back in place. What do you say to people like that?
I don't know who has defined who my loyalists are. But let me know the way for the fundamental question you ask. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. You know the problem I have in this country? People are used to television advocates. With all due respect, where you advocate law, it's not on television, it's in the courtroom. When the state of emergency was declared, they said it was illegal. How many of them have pursued the case till today?
Your party has.
Where is it? Have they pursued it? Have they pursued the case?
At the Supreme Court?
Have they pursued the case? Filing a matter for people to say we have filed a matter does not mean that you want to pursue the matter. With all due respect to you, it's to play to the gallery. With all due respect. But let me come to the point. I have been quoting Supreme Court judgment. Who went to court over that Supreme Court judgment? It was we. Who were advocating on television when the judge gave that judgment that the election should not hold because you don't meet the requirement. You came out on television lambasting the judge that the judge took bribe. Yes. The wrote petition that the judge took bribe. The matter went to Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal upturned that judgment, and the matter went to Supreme Court. The highest court of the land now made a pronouncement and said the judgment of the lower court of the Federal High Court was right. Today it has become the law, is it not? It's not. So you are now quoting. All of them are now quoting. I even had INEC was quoting it. But asked INEC, during that matter, what was their position in court? Let me move further. He said, an emergency is an aberration, but allowed by law. The law knows that for a period that will be an emergency situation. The Emergency Act of 1961, I'm coming. Particularly Section 3 of that law provides that there be emergency, and then the Governor General then was not President, Governor General. And you remember, the 1999 Constitution gives the President the power to modify laws of colonial period or even the military. And that was when in 2004, under President Obasanjo, he now brought the modification law of 2004 under the Emergency Act and retained those provisions that under the emergency rule, the President can suspend, modify some aspects of the law. The President can modify, suspend some aspects of the law and allow the President to make a regulation that will guide the governance of the emergency areas. And that was why the President Tinubu, based on the modification law of 2004, made by Obasanjo, now made the regulations. The first regulation, what you call emergency to conduct local government election, was made in June, no May, but was gathered in June, where the President said, look, emergency to conduct local government election. In order to bring back democratic structures in certain emergency areas, there's the need to suspend or modify the application of the Electoral Act of 2022, the application of the local government, River State Local Government Independent Law, the River State Local Government Law, and the River State Local Government Election Tribunal Law, and gave 90 days within which the election should be conducted in order to bring back democratic structures. Mind, it is only in the local government that there was no democratic structure, which was notified by the Supreme Court. Now, when you now say emergency, that they have no power to conduct election, how could anybody say so? You remember that Supreme Court said, where there's no local government, they cannot have access to funds from federation account. Yes. And no governor can set up caretaker committee. Is it not correct? Yes. Now, because of the emergency rule, that judgment was set aside, was kept at the bench, and to allow the local government to access funds. And that's why they appointed sole administrator in local government. You also know the Supreme Court said, look, because there's no budget for the state government, they cannot have access to federation account. Now, assuming there's no emergency rule, would local government have access funds today? Would the state have access funds today? Certainly not. So the essence of the emergency rule becomes imperative. I'm coming.
I'm just conscious of that.
No, this one should take more of your time than any other one. Now, the president, in his wisdom, to bring peace and restore democratic governance in local government, came again with another regulation, which was signed in July, that this election must be conducted within 30 days, because the president, from my understanding, does not want to extend the emergency rule. Because extending the emergency rule will not be palatable to the people. But then if you don't do local government election, and then you leave the emergency rule, how will local government now access funds? And when the governor cannot appoint caretaker committee based on Supreme Court judgment, and they cannot get money, is that not crisis in the local government? Is that not crisis? And the president said, look, we don't want this crisis again. While you are here now, conduct this election so that there will be democratic structure in the local government. So that as this emergency rule is being lifted, the governor comes, the assembly comes, right? The assembly comes, and then they take care of the state. And then there's democratic structure in local government. And then they will have access to their funds. If you don't do that election now, the governor comes, the governor will give notice of 1 year by the Supreme Court judgment. And when you give notice of 1 year, you cannot set up a caretaker committee. And they cannot have access to the federation account. What happens in the local government?
All right, we understand all of
that.
So sorry,
people should, you see, people should, what if you don't have an idea, if you don't know anything, call people, what is this? What is this? It's not every day. Okay, why not challenges? Why not challenges? Emergency rule allows the president to make regulations, allows the president to suspend and modify some aspects of the law. And that's what he has done by suspending some aspects of the Electoral Act of 2022, which he has the power.
All right. Honorable Minister, our time is fast spent. We have just about 3 minutes. You have not hidden your admiration for President Tinubu. 2027 will soon be around the corner.
Yes.
Should the president still come from the south?
Before? Where will it come from? It will come from where?
I'm asking, should.
Don't you know my position and our position?
So the question is, how fundamental is that? Because if your party, one of the reasons why you were angry with your party was because it went to the north. It went to a northern candidate. They threw it open. They did not send it anywhere. Now your party, you say things are beginning to settle there. If indeed, or when indeed they settle properly, and they zone it to the south, will you be supporting a southern candidate from your party? Or will you still be supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
Why not? You would have asked me. Why do I think I would continue to support President Tinubu? I would have loved that question. Let me tell you, I presented a paper in Obafemi Awolowo University, and I did say, the bane of our problem majorly is leadership. When you get the right leadership, things will begin to change, improve. If you bring somebody from the south in PDP, and I know it does not have the leadership qualities, take for example, every president in this country, right from 1999, had always said that oil subsidy is a scam. They believe so. But nobody has had the courage to say, we know it's a scam. What do we do? You know?
President Jonathan.
I'm coming. You know, you don't know. If I do it now, if I don't do it now. Nobody was able to do it. Nobody. The day the man was sworn in, he didn't go to his office first before he took that decision.
Yeah, but you just heard President Jonathan did. And
Did
it was in the cabinet you served. President Goodluck Jonathan did, and there were protests. And then he returned.
Okay, was protest. Was there no protest in this? Was there no protest in this? Has he not been able to solve the problem?
Were they as strong as
What is strong?
Organized?
How do I know? How do I know? I would have known.
You are minister.
The point I'm talking about is, let me tell you, leadership. If you want to do something, let me tell you, don't do it haphazardly. If you know that, not temporarily, not small. Look, the president said, I am going to do this. He knows there will be challenges. He knows there will be a kind of a backlash. But he said, look, I'm going to do it. For a short time, we'll suffer it. But in the long run, we are going to benefit it. Today, look at the money each state is getting. Before, it was not. I've been taking that bold step. People suffered for it at the initial time, but we're coming to, stay with it, and things are beginning to change. That's what leadership is all about.
So regardless of who your party feels, you're going to be supporting.
So if you can't feel a non-entity.
I'm just asking.
So
you are the one who is saying they feel it. What if they feel somebody who has
at my level, because I'm in PDP, you can't be somebody I know, cannot even say anything.
Even if it's your friend?
You don't have.
Which friend?
You don't seem to have confidence in your party.
I didn't say so.
First
of all,
before
you talk, let me tell you, first of all, do the right thing. Bring back the national vice chairman of the South Side. That's one. Before we talk about when, because these are people who also participate in that convention. If you deny my zone to participate in the national convention, why would I be happy?
All right. Honorable Minister, we have to go. It's always tidy to end and land, softly, rather than being yanked off. So in order to prevent being yanked off, we just have to end this.
Yes.
Thank you so much. My colleagues, Festus Adena, thank you so much. And of course, Obosua.
Adeso Omoran. Thank you.
Asuko James.
TVC.
Thank you so much, Honorable
Minister. Yusuf, Channel Television.
It's my pleasure.
The questions just kept pouring in, but we just have to end this soon. Probably look forward to the next edition. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time. That's how we drop the anchor of today's edition of Media Chat with the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, Dr. Nyesom Wike. Thank you so much.
I'm not a PhD with an honorary degree or so.
We keep calling you doctor.
I don't need the word doctor.
Thank you for investing your time with us. We'll see you again. My name is Benga Aruleba.